This is my first video, and I'm so happy because I can turn whatever music I want. Because I don't get paid for this. When I had my prior channel, I would get paid, but they would, what do you call that? Like cancel getting paid if I turned on music that I liked. I have absolutely no problem like that anymore. Hell yeah. Okay, so these series are gonna be me talking about my day, and the reason I'm making these is because I found out that a lot of people have work, heavy days, and when they open up YouTube, the last thing they want to do is listen about a thing that requires a lot of brain power. So these series, I really do hope that it helps you turn off your brain, stay chill, and yeah. So I'm gonna be talking about my days. Hope you guys enjoy. So what happened today is it was my first day at school. And I'm taking linear algebra for my winter courses. And to be honest, I was expecting it to be more applicational. So I want to do research at a computer science lab in Seoul National University. But what happened was I did an interview for two professors, and the professors said exactly the same thing, which was first you need to take linear algebra, data structure, deep learning, and machine learning, and then you can come to my lab and do some meaningful work. So when the first professor said it, I was like, oh, okay. But when the second guy said the exact same thing, I was like, okay, there's got to be something here. So for this winter, I decided to take linear algebra, and today was my first class. Little did I know that university math is not the math that I was expecting. So up until high school, the math that I did was you have some obvious statements, and they're like, well, it's obvious. I'm like, yeah, it's obvious. And then we get some calculations, and then I get some numbers, and I get some more numbers. So that's fine. It's fun. But the class that I took today, I went there, and for 3 hours, the professor was just straight out yapping. So for 3 hours, the only thing that we actually did was something like, if x is the underlying basis of y, prove m could be a basis of x according to some law. And it was like that for the whole 3 hour, right? So I mean, it wasn't bad, but like, you know, it's yeah. I never had university math courses, so it's my first time, so I should have expected it. But yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go, but I really do hope I don't get an F because I don't because you guys might not know, but I'm in Korea, and in Korea we have a completely different medical system where getting into pre-med is really hard. So getting into university, I got accepted as a pre-med student. And after I finished my 2 years of pre-med, I automatically enroll into med school. And that's the only way you could go into med school. But during the 2 years of pre-med years, your scores or your classes or your credits don't matter at all. But you do have to fulfill your credits. But apparently, I missed one credit. So I was supposed to get a 73, and out of those, 21 should be like major related. But I was taking 20. I miscalculated my last semester credits, and now I'm taking winter courses. So my goal is to understand linear algebra, but in worst case, I don't want to get an F. Right? Yeah, that happened. And yesterday was my first day at the research lab. So, pretty obviously, I have some friends abroad in Texas. And when I go there, my friends tell me what they do. And in Korea, we don't, in vacations, most of the students just work or they stay at home. So it was quite surprising for me when I first went there and I saw my friends and they were all doing these like they were doing stuff, right? They're doing something in their vacation, like they were doing an internship, or they were doing some like they were doing something. So that quite surprised me, and I realized that in this global market said so, and if I say want to go to the States after graduating, it's pretty obvious that I, need to have a appealing CV, right? But thankfully, I had a friend. I think he's like 2 years older than me. He's making some robotic arm, like something I don't know. And on his IG story, he posted that his lab is recruiting an intern. So I applied, and I got accepted, right? So yesterday was my first day at the lab. So I went there, and it was my first time being in a corporate building. So I tagged a card. I didn't have a card, so the staff was like, okay, just go in. Those glass gates. So it was my first time entering that. I went up there, went to the 4th floor, and they had another glass gate. And then I tagged my card again, which I didn't have, so I waited for my friend, not friend, like somebody to just pass by and just sway in. And I sat there, and my manager, who is also a doctorate degree course, so she was taking her PhD course, so she's a PhD course student. And she was like, okay, do you know this, this, and this? And I was like, no. I just didn't say no because that sounds so dumb. So I was like, oh yeah, I do know those exist, but I haven't taken linear algebra, so I'm taking that for my winter classes, and CNN computing, and all these blah, 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 I'll be doing so. Then she was like, I think she was pretty happy with my answer. Obviously we talked in Korean. Yeah, and from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was sitting there coding and making codes that differentiate iris flowers. And it was alright, but it was alright. At 3 p.m. I kind of sneaked out because I was too hungry. I think I'm not supposed to do that, but I just kind of like tiptoed out and then had a quick meal, it was really, really nice. Yeah, after that, then after that, so today is 24th of December, right? And yesterday it was 23rd of December. So after finishing my research job, it was me. I went to a like a party. I don't know how to say it. Like in Korea, if we take a class together, some classes, when you get close with your friends, your classmates, we hold a let me search the word. I don't know the word. End of class party. So like you would take a course, and in the course you would have like so much people, and then you would have like a end of course party. I think that's kind of cute. So I went there, and I arrived at 7 p.m. It was nice. And the professor was there too. So my professor he isn't really tall, but he majored in judo, so he was super strong. And then yeah, and then okay, so nobody's gonna obviously watch this, so it's fine. I can take it. I have no problem. So in the class, there was a girl that's kind of cute. It's nice. Then she sat next to me. No, so when I first got there, it was me, and then a guy, and then she was next to me. So like she was one step ahead, right? And then somehow I don't know what happened. Like I think she was cold because it was on the window side. So she came to my seat, and I moved left. So now she's on my right. Right? And somehow I think she didn't really hated me. So that's nice. So yeah, I try to be a really nice guy. Um I was nice. For you guys who don't know, I follow 3 rules of the Bible, and it is number 1, everything is positive because it was God's plan. Number 2, love each other, and number 3, um, don't look at women. Don't look at women as a sexual object. So I think that kind of helped. It was fun. And then upstairs, what should I do? Yeah, so I know a magic trick where I go like this. I hide it. When I pull it out, I can guess where the paper towel is. There's actually a full YouTube video on it, so you guys can check it out. So I did that. That was nice. And yeah, and I had a scarf on my neck for my warmth. But for some reason, like, she was super, super, super cold. So I just gave it to her. And we hopped on a subway to get back home. And on the way, it's like 12. I knew she had it, but I intentionally didn't take it because I could blame the scarf to meet her. That's smart, right? So I did that, and surprisingly, she found out right after she went back home. And then I said, I was kind of smooth there. So I said, I intentionally ignored because if I said, you would have given me, and that would have left you walking cold back home. I think she kind of liked that. So, yeah. So tomorrow's Christmas. So I asked, I'm going hiking. It's a chill hike for good views. And asked her if she want to go. She said, nah, but don't you go other days? I said, which days you mean? She says Saturday, and I haven't replied. That happened. That was yesterday and today. It's fun. Yeah, and I learned something from the internship, which was that when I was working alone, I'm building a business right now, and when I was working alone, I would tell myself that after a meal I would kind of like get numb for an hour. So I'd have a big meal, and then for the next hour I would just kind of like doom scroll or lay in bed. And then I was kind of having an excuse where I would blame my sugar level going up. And that's true. That's actually true. But when I was in the internship program, I still had a meal at 3, right? But I managed to keep on working. Right? Like I was, because my desk everyone can see, you know? I don't know why they do that, but like, so this is the research lab, and here, like, okay, so like you got two lines of desks here, and on each desk there's like 2 layers of computers. So one guy here, like that, and then my seat is here, and my monitor is facing this way. So if anyone is working and they go this way, they can literally see what I have on my screen. So that's kind of shit, but it kind of forces me to just focus on the work. So I just do the work. But yeah, so from 10 to 6, I was super concentrated on all the work, and I had absolutely maybe like 20 minutes of like chatting with my friends on Kakao. That's also a thing. Korea has a chatting system called Kakao, which is WhatsApp. Like, it's like Telegram, but for only Koreans. Like, you guys know WeChat is for Chinese, right? So Korean people use Kakao. That's quite funny. and it's one of the biggest companies in Korea. But yeah, so besides that, I was working and I was super concentrated, surprisingly. Because before that, I believed when my sugar level spikes, I can't really concentrate, and when it goes down with caffeine, it kind of boils down where my concentration levels gets to a good level. But apparently that's not the case. You can brute force yourself to concentrate on the task. So yeah, I did that. Plus, another thing that I learned is commuting is the biggest time waste. So currently I'm kind of broke. I have no income, but my rent is around 900,000 Korean won, which is, I'd say like $600. It's not much, but like Korea GDP per capita is 1/3 of the state, so yeah, if you could triple that, it kind of makes sense. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so in our school, there's a cafeteria and it opens at 11. So I was having my first meal at 11 because it's kind of cheap and I could eat as much as I want. So I'd go there, get a lot of carbs and protein, and get back home. But if I want to get that, I would have to get on the bus at 10:30. And by the time I get back home, it'll be 12. And I'll be hella full. So on paper, I've lost 1.5 hours plus 30 minutes, which is like around 2 hours. So I think commuting is really, really a waste of time. And while commuting, there's absolutely nothing of productive that you could do. So lesson learned is sugar level doesn't really matter as much as I thought on concentration levels. And 2 is commuting is a really, really big waste of time. So I try to avoid that. Yeah, that's it. That was yesterday, today, and the day after, or what happened. I get bored quite easily, so there's gonna be some good events that I could share. But that's it for today. I'm not gonna make these every day. I think maybe every 1 or 3 days. And yeah, I hope you guys watch this while you're like eating food or like going to bed, you know? Because that's what my previous subscribers were saying. They were saying it's good to watch your videos while having food. I think that's really nice. I'm basically being your meal mates, right? And someday we could. No, we can't do that. Maybe we can. Like someday we could do it in person. Like that whole thing deteriorates the reason I made this channel, because I found out that once you guys, not you guys, like once I find out that somebody that I know knows my channel, you know, the message that I send out kind of gets it gets affected. I can't really be myself anymore. So probably not. But like at some point, like my friends are gonna find out anyway, so it's quite sad. I really do hope they don't, and if you ever do so, please just pretend that you don't know. But yeah, that is the end of my day. What other things that I had? Yeah, you know what? Like I'll just talk about that. I was super. Oh yeah. Plus, I had a really good steak today. So, I'm gonna do that too. So, I'm currently clipping videos of my day, but it's really short. It's like 30 seconds every day. But I'm clipping them, and then I want to do a vlog, but it's way harder than I thought. Like, yeah. But I really do want to make a video on how to make the best ramens, because I'm quite good at cooking ramen. So there's gonna be two things, which is one, how I make steak, and two is gonna be how I make ramen. And today I had a absolutely amazing steak with rice, so I was quite happy with that. Yeah. It's 10:30, but my friend says he has a DJ party at 1:30 a.m. He said you could come and he would buy me a drink, but like honestly, I'm kind of weirded out. Like I want to go to bed. I don't know what I should do. Yeah. Anyways, it is what it is. Oh, and what happened to my Ferrari 296 GTB? That's my first video, right? So I've finished uploading all my products. So I'm basically gonna sell Korean artistry. I don't know what that word is. Like some fancy Korean arts to the global market. And I've applied for the payment gate today. And tomorrow I'm gonna set up the ad account, and we'll see. Right? I like the fact that yeah, like regarding business, 2 years ago I was super into it, so I would really kind of brute force myself, and I was in a bad mental state, but I would still like kind of run, because I believe the first principle was to really get things done quickly. But that didn't really work out well, because I believe, like, I like the book called Principles by Ray Dalio, and he says it's on the 314th page, I think. It says, as a head of the company, you have to actively look at your company structure and system in a above manner, and at the same time put yourself in the gearbox and working. Which means, which if I could explain, so you would have a systemized business model on ground. You should be able to look it from the top and structure it out on how it should be. But at the same time, you should put yourself in the gearbox and working. So that's a hard job. So I think the whole business side is kind of like zooming in and out of the work that you should be doing. So sometimes you should be really micro about things, but at the same time, sometimes you have to be macro. And in a lot of cases, you're in between, right? But if you misuse the lens that you should use, your business kind of fucks up. Beforehand, because I was so focused on speed, I would go onto my website and get mad at one of the most trivial things. Like I would get mad about the review star being colored slightly less yellow. Like who cares? Nobody cares about that, right? But then I would like spend all my day trying to fix that, but that's not work, right? But I did put in a lot of hours for that, right? And thankfully I found out that that was a mistake. And nowadays I work every day. I do work every day. I do know what I have to do every day, but I try not to fall into that trap. So, though I seem effortless, a lot more work is being done, which I'm quite happy about. So, yeah, if you're still watching, I think you've gotten to know a lot about me, which is nice. If you do want to know more about me, I'll think about a way that you guys could do that, but at the moment I don't have anything in mind. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back soon after, very soon, with a new video. So I'll see you guys on the next one.